Okay, we're live. Just waiting on Ryan to get in here. A little bit late. Sorry about that. It's been a busy morning. So today I think we're working on noses, practicing our nose drawings. While Ryan's getting in here, I'll just show you guys what I've been working on. This Venom drawing. Zoom out a bit. So this is one for my nephew for his birthday coming up. Not quite done yet. I've got some black to fill in. I've got to get the mouth rendered out, a little bit more of the face, kind of working on some of the rendering here in the arm. Soon I'll go on the legs, but yeah, so that's coming along pretty well. I need a spot to put this. Yeah. Not sure what's taking Ryan so long, but I've also been working on some of my inking technique and skill. So this is, probably all of you know by now, David Finch is my favorite comic book artist. So this arm comes from this drawing of his. So I'm just studying right now his kind of inking techniques, cross-hatching, all that stuff. So I've basically just been kind of copying a lot of his work to get better at that. Ryan, you're still, you are muted. Your video's coming in, but you're muted.
How about now?
Loud and clear. You trying to imitate what I sounded like yesterday? All right, so I'm going to get a fresh page out for some noses.
I gotta grab some coffee real quick.
You gonna do what? Okay. He's getting set up. Who's our viewer? I would love to know. All right. I don't know what Ryan's doing. I'm going to look at some references for some noses. from my phone. All right.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, my son, right before we streamed or got ready to or whatever, he just like came in the office. I'm bored. I was like, oh no. So I just had a feeling if I didn't turn on a show for him or something, he was just going to constantly come back in.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you have a? What are you going to do for drawing? You're just going to draw noses?
I'm actually thinking about. Yeah, I was just going to do like some more heads. I need some tape. Get some tape real quick. Okay. Haven't got much drawn this week, just being busy, and then also I set up my new drawing area. I showed you the other day. I installed a light up on top,
Yeah.
so it should be a little bit better. Get everything going here. I'm actually going to draw from not my brain or my head.
Imagination.
Or imagination, yeah. I'm going to actually have some pictures. Mainly because it was getting frustrating just trying to
Wait, so you are drawing from pictures?
Dino Ranch. What's that?
You are going to draw from pictures?
Yeah, just like some human heads. Get my iPad up. All the drawing I did do this week that I played around with was all on my iPad.
Oh yeah.
The only bummer part about doing that is it's cool, but the bummer part of it is just the I don't know, when you don't have it on paper, it just kind of seems like it's easily throwawayable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
D-I-N-O. Man, my son just kind of threw me off the whole morning a little bit, but that's okay.
It's all right. Should have made it for like 10:30 actually, because I got home and decided to shower and shave and stuff.
Did you poop?
No, I did that earlier this morning.
Oh, okay. You could say the old trio.
Yeah. Shit shower shake. Sometimes I like to shit after my shower, though.
What'd you say?
Sometimes I like to shit after my shower, though. I understand. All right. Well, since you're doing heads, I'm going to do heads.
You do heads.
I'm going to copy some Finch stuff.
Man, one of the things I always struggled with, I think I told you about, like when I was in drawing class, is you know, I always used to do like if I would draw you know, like a portrait or something, I'd always start with the eyes, and then I would make the eyes or whatever, and then I would grow outwards. I would, you know, just more and more and more, and then I'm kind of just like drawing kind of like that, just curving it around. And it was so frustrating in drawing class because I had to make, you know, I had to make like an actual kind of like, you know, thing to actually put it in. And that was always really hard for me because I felt like I had to now make all the marks where they were and then just put in the little details. And that's just not how I learned to draw, which was probably really bad. So I was just constantly fighting that. I mean, just constantly.
Yeah. Doing this wrong.
Ranch.
What out? That's nothing important.
I got my little drawing toolbox. Here's all the pens that I used. The Microline. Pigma brush.
Yeah, I've got. I think I've got some of the same ones. Let's see. Oh, my pens are all spread out everywhere. I've just got a little drawer down here that I keep them all in. No organization at all. There's that new one I got that Finch was talking about.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty nice. It's harder to get some finer lines, but like super fine. But I've just been trying out all sorts of different ones, like Tombow. Finch uses Tombows a lot, especially this one with the harder tip. That's what she said. These guys, these Pigma BBs, I've been using this on my Venom drawing. It's got a big fat tip on it. And it lays down ink really well, so I've been coloring in all the background with that.
Is that like a soft brush?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. They got like this one, a Pigma FB that's a finer stiffer brush tip. Got Micron, other Microns. I've got Copic makes multi-liners. See, this one is a 0.1, but it's funny because the tip sizes vary by like company. So you can see this one. That's probably hard to tell on this crappy camera.
Oh, I see. Yeah. The one on the right looks bigger, right?
Yeah. Maybe if I do this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but these are both 0.1s. But the Copic one is more like a 0.5, like compared to the Micron size. So anywho, let me adjust this camera again. Yeah.
D-I-M-D-I-M-D-I-M-H. Changing my iPad so it doesn't lock as I'm looking at a picture, it doesn't go to sleep on me.
Oh, gotcha.
Did you watch that video that I sent?
The football one?
No, well, that one too. The It Follows.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've seen like I knew what it was about. But yeah, I just had never. It wasn't one that like looked very good to me. Like it just looked like another. Like I Know What You Did Last Summer, or something along those lines.
It's definitely. I think what it's kind of making a little bit of fear of is adolescent sex. Is kind of what I took from it, So
Yeah,
kind of like not saying that it was trying to portray that sex is bad when you're younger, in high school or whatever, but it was like it's almost like playing upon the fear of like getting a disease or something. But a lot can be said in the movie with I think with how it's portraying not necessarily losing virginity, but kind of thinking that sex is something that's like magical, whatever, but it's actually just, it's not as beautiful as, that you think when you're younger. And when it does happen, it's just like, oh, that was it, and then there's repercussions for it, that can arise. And I think it's kind of like a fun, like horror thing on that, it kind of takes it to the limit and adds like this, like thing that follows you and stuff. But I really liked it because the camera work and the sound, dude. The sound is so good. Like me and my wife watched it last night, and she was like, that movie wasn't that scary, but the music and the tone and the way that the camera is shot is just, it's very voyeuristic, like somebody's watching you, you know, like it's filmed that way, that it's through the view of somebody's eyes, like you're standing there and you're watching it, you know. It's really it's kind of creepy in that way.
Completely messed up all my angles on this.
So I think I fixed it. I guess we'll see, because there's no tester. No tester.
So I watched this. Have you heard of this Terrifier movie?
Oh yeah.
So the second one is out apparently, and you know, of course it's probably like a lot of marketing, but like of course they're saying that like, oh, people in audiences are getting sick and ambulances are picking them up from the theaters, and because of how gross and violent this movie is. And so it got me curious, of course, so I ended up watching the first one, which, I mean, the first one's very violent and bloody and just gory. It's just like this guy dressed up as a creepy ass clown. Just basically going on a killing rampage.
Did you like it?
I didn't dislike it, but like if you're not a fan of slasher flicks, you definitely won't like it. I mean, the stuff he does tops like Jason and Freddy. I guess the director is, you know, it's a very low budget film. So I think the director, I guess, did all of his own special effects and stuff, but they're pretty convincing.
Yeah, I saw like a clip of some chick getting slashed.
Yeah, like in the sequel that's coming out, or that's out.
Yeah, it just came out. Like she's in her room or something. He like slashes her eye and stuff like that.
Yeah, the first one, there's a scene where he hangs a girl upside down by her ankles. Maybe I won't talk about it. It's he proceeds to use a hacksaw on her from groin to eyeballs, basically.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Man, if I can get this. I installed that light, which now comes down, and then when I put a screen over here, now it's like that. I gotta get rid of that, like that reflection that's right on my iPad.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have to like build some stuff like over here, and because I got a huge drawing table, and it was made to like kind of so I could build stuff around it. I really got to work on that this weekend. This big block. And this is
at some point I'm gonna have to stop copying Finch and like do somebody else. It's like they say, you know, in art, like to copy the masters, which I, you know, consider Finch a master, but not just one. Like you want to, it's especially important for finding your style, is copying many, you know, like Finch said he would spend like a month copying one person that he liked, and then he would spend like another month copying somebody else. So like, you know, if you're looking at his stuff and you're really keen, you can probably pick up on other artists that, you know, you can see like their kind of influence in his work. But yeah, he's still got his own very unique style. So what you got going on this weekend? Wait, are you coming out today? Down today? Or I guess it's not really here, but like
no, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay home.
so where in KC are they doing it? I thought they went out to Independence for the chili cook-off. Kansas.
Yeah, that's where they're doing it. Is Independence.
Oh, okay. How far is that from like my area in Olathe? You know?
I'm not sure actually. There's a. What were you gonna say?
I guess I could Google it.
I want to say about from Independence, probably 2.5 hours. This would be where the bone is. I think for the.
Yeah, shows about 2.5 hours.
See, this is where I get like really confused when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna put the bone here. Okay, here's the notch for the nose." Like, not every face is the same, and
right. Well, that's the one
where,
thing to understand about like like Loomis method. It's never going to be an exact, especially if like you're doing a portrait or something. It's people are always going to have a little variation on nose size, where their eyes are set in their head, where their forehead is in relation to where their nose is. So it's like use it as a base to kind of start off and lay foundation in, like for the portrait.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, you might have to adjust like some lines for, like if I'm drawing, and even in kind of caricature or comics, like if you're drawing a dude like this, you're doing the circle and everything first to kind of lay out like the angle and kind of the basic gesture of the head or whatever. But here, the nose is scrunched up super high, compared to like the chin and everything else like that. Like he's got a longer face in here, and like his forehead, this is all extended because he's looking down, but his forehead starts a little bit, not as tall.
There's a guy I really enjoyed watching because I don't know, the Loomis method. Not that I have like a, not that I don't think it's like good or anything, but it's like my brain doesn't. My brain wants to move in a different pace than the way that it's like my brain is moving too fast and I'm looking and seeing everything, and then when I start doing this, I start doing that, it's like, I don't know. I think a lot of it's because I just, when I was younger and I drew in a different way. Then when I go to school and I try to like learn the steps, I feel like I'm going backwards. Like I'm just like, oh man, and it's like my brain's trying to.
Well, you kind of are going backwards, to kind of breaking everything down into its basics, like the basic shapes and layouts, and it's like one step forward, two steps back. But yeah, I don't do like exact Lumen method stuff. I always screw up like the sides of the head, like where like the temple would be, and the ears. Like when I'm just drawing my ovals and stuff like that, and all my layout lines, and like the stuff never just seems to line up for me how it's supposed to. So I do a lot of adjusting. When I'm doing my heads. All right. Answer that real quick. Hello. Hey. Uh-oh, which one?
heart rate is 60, and she said that he doesn't know what with it.
Okay.
So I'm
Like, he didn't say anything about being sick.
no, it makes me wonder.
Connects to that. So that's the case. That would be the flat. This would go.
Okay, I will be right back. Alex is going to come up with some groceries. Apparently, Fallon passed out at school.
Holy crap.
His heart rate's like 60, and he's pale. So she's going to go pick him up and take him to the doctor. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Interesting. Must be like this. That's the case. Bring that. Yes. Those are the eyes. Looks like her eyes. A little hitched. So that's gonna go. Looks like the it comes down like that. It's a little crooked.
All right. Sorry about that.
So what is he? He's going to the doctor now.
Yeah, just taking him up to the doctor. I don't know what's going on. He doesn't take very good care of himself. I guess we're probably partly blamed for that, but we let him play his games nearly as much as he wants, as long as he's got like good grades in school.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to make him get up, despite having like almost unlimited screen time. We used to make him get up every couple hours and be active. But we kind of let that slip and just kind of forgot about doing that stuff. So I think a lot of it has to do with that. Yeah, he's just kind of unkempt, and he doesn't brush his hair. He doesn't, he's got that facial fuzz that teenagers think is like facial hair. So they grow it out like long and nasty because they think it's like a beard, but it's just gross fuzz. It's not like facial hair yet. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I keep telling him, dude, like it's not like facial. Yeah, it's hair on your face, but it's not like facial hair. It's just fuzz, dude. You need to shave it. It's gross. And he said that he was wanting to stay home today because he said it's just been a rough week at school. Like, he's had some it's high schoolers, a bunch of annoying kids in his classes lately have been pretty annoying. Not specifically to him, but just like loud and stuff, and obnoxious, pissing off teachers. So he wanted to stay home. And normally it'd be like, no, like unless you're sick, you deal with the fact that life isn't easy. School's not easy. When you grow up, work's not going to be easy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You got to learn how to cope with it, man. Like, but I was willing to like let him have a day off today because his grades have been really good. Except the one thing he messed up on was, which I've developed a zero tolerance for, is he had a missing assignment in one of his classes. And the reason why I'm so like low tolerance for missing assignments is because like he went through almost all of 8th grade telling us he had stuff turned in when he didn't. And it led to, and we would just trust what he would tell us. Like he was like, oh yeah, I'm turning it in. And it led to him getting like some really bad grades for most of his 8th grade school year. Because just all the missing assignments would add up, and he kept telling us they were turned in, and that, oh, the teacher's just not updating them, or I gave it to the teacher, I don't know what happened to it. So he'd throw the teacher under the bus. So anyway, long story short, he had one missing assignment. I was like, sorry, dude, you need to go to school today and figure out how you're going to make up that assignment. Like, but he didn't indicate to us that he was sick or that he felt bad. He was just said, see, he was up late last night, I guess, because he just couldn't sleep. He didn't tell us specifically why. He just said he just couldn't. It's like, okay, well, I've had nights where I just couldn't sleep for no reason, so fair enough. But I don't know. I think there's something he hasn't been telling us. It's like, dude, if you're not feeling good, you need to tell us. Like, if you're pale at school and you pass out and your heart rate is like 60 beats, well, I mean, 60 is kind of in a normal range. But so I don't know if his blood sugar just is low. Because I don't think he had anything to eat this morning, because I think he was anticipating not having to go to school. I thought he would anticipate us letting him stay home today. So I don't think he ate anything. He doesn't really eat anything in the mornings anyways. I mean, I never do. But so I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't have to go to the emergency room.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. I'm trying to do some techniques here that Finch uses. I feel like me trying to like put all these techniques together It's just confusing the hell out of me. Man, I really need to. 'Cause I keep putting my shoulder too far into the screen. It's my problem of wanting to go down too far.
That's what she said.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Get everything put in first.
See how I'm saving my hair for last? Because I'm really bad at hair. And obviously, I mean, I don't know if it's obvious, but I know I need to practice it more to get better at it.
Man, I watched this kind of interview by Waki Tati or something like that. I can never remember his name. He's the guy who directed
Thor, Ragnarok.
Yeah. You know, he didn't get into the movie business until he was to 30.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of actors that, and like directors and stuff, and people in the movie business that didn't get involved until they were close to their 40s.
I know that Ricky Gervais was like that, kind of.
Like, didn't Samuel Jackson get into it later?
Yeah, I think he did too. Mm.
I feel like I'm pretty sure Danny, not DeVito, the guy in the Danny Glover. think he was a taxi driver. Like in his late 30s or maybe mid 40s.
Yeah, I know what's his face. Who's that really big buff black dude that was like in the Old Spice commercials?
Oh yeah, Terry Crews.
Yeah, Terry Crews.
You know what's funny? I didn't know this about him until like a couple months ago because I follow him on Instagram. He's an artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the dude can draw. Like, I think one of his initial careers was something in art.
Is he a painter?
Let's see. I don't think he was a painter. Let me see if his wiki tells me.
I know that Joaquin Tatiti guy. He was also a painter too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I'll bring up his Instagram. That's loud. Oh, you can't see those really. Let's see. Does he have any? Here's one. I think this is the first one I saw. Was Simon Cowell. But he's very technical. Like he'll draw like the size of each eyeball, like across the face. Because they say that like you're supposed to have like the face is like 5 eyes wide or something like that.
Mm.
But he's pretty good. Better portraits than I've done.
Can I see that again? Sorry.
Jesus. Oh yeah, see, like it uses a ruler.
Oh wow, yeah. That's awesome.
Let's see what this say. Anyway.
Man, this paper I'm using, this Strathmore, man, it's really it's not very smooth paper.
What series is it?
Let me see here. It just keeps on grabbing my.
Your what? Sounds like a horny paper to me.
400. Got a fine tooth surface.
I remember what Finch uses for his stuff. I need to get some. It's some sort of Strathmore series. I don't remember if it was 300. I think his is 300 series. Some Bristol.
Now I'm trying on this to not make it perfect, but try to get to the point where I'm minimizing stuff, if that makes sense. Kind of like what they do in the comics. You know, they find like the things and just from line work accentuate certain aspects to where, like, I think, just like an illustration, you don't draw it perfect. You just kind of you're just trying to show with little line work as possible that the nose is here or whatever kind of type of thing. But I keep on getting more and more detailed, which is not working really.
I end up doing that a lot.
Really, when I'm drawing a portrait, I need to be like up and have like a thing, to where I can like draw upwards instead of like here's, because I got a picture this way and I'm looking down, kind of doing this whole thing, which is fine, but I'm not that good to where I can just do that yet. I still want to like use my, my measurement, kind of move this here, kind of like, oh, this is from there to there. Okay.
Yeah. This desk I have has a hinge on it where I can angle it up, and I draw with it pretty angled up. So I can be a little bit more upright.
Yeah, there's some value on here too. What happened, dude?
The TV just it playing this song, it just went back to all the shows.
No way.
How would it do that?
I don't know. I don't believe you.
It really did.
I don't believe you.
Just coming up.
You sure? Sure you're not joking?
I'm sure. I'm sure I'm not joking.
It's like what Grayson will say sometimes when he does, like he breaks something or drops something, like spills some food or water. I think something happened. What'd you do? Nothing.
Yeah, my son, he says that quite a bit. And it's always it's like, I can tell, it's like, dude, you move this. No, I didn't. Yeah, I can tell. Like, you know, you're not tricking me here. Like, I'm
Right.
38 years old.
Yeah.
Don't touch.
Good push.
I'm back. See, one thing that I need to kind of stop doing too is doing kind of value shading that I'm doing now. Like where I always get the paper and I just use my finger to kind of, which, you know, I need to build that up with pencil instead of, I wouldn't say cheating, but I feel like I'm cheating, if that makes sense.
Because you're smudging?
Yeah.
It's not cheating. That's a standard practice.
Well, like if you look at a lot of artists, they always like kind of they build it up with pencil. Like they use pencil to kind of make the blocks, like the shape, the face and the shape and stuff like that. And then after they get the blocks in, then they use like a, you know, like one of those soft thingamajiggers, and they start kind of like paper pencils. They start smooshing everywhere, but they've already got it. They've already got those values in, if that makes sense. And then me, I'm not really getting the values just right doing this. I'm kind of, I feel like I'm like doing the easy way to push stuff around. This is like, all right, Ryan, I need to actually recognize the values first.
Well, I think the way they do it is actually the easy way. I think you're doing it the hard way. because I think that's the reason why they do it the way they do it is they start with the dark values first, like your blacks.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you start going like mid-tones, if I'm not mistaken, and then like highlights and stuff after that, like and going for like more of the detail.
Can't even see how this garment wraps. I guess it kind of wraps like that. Might be too far out, actually. Dion Ranch.
Yeah.
So, do you think your son's like maybe stressed out a little bit or something? Or
Probably. I mean, I'm sure stress has something to do with it too. Like I 100% feel like stress is just can completely wreck you. Like
oh yeah,
there's too much of it. You know, I feel like it's just you know, it's just it raises your the cortisol levels, I think, and like just puts you in a position where your body is just like inflamed. So yeah, you could be going. Could be kind of stress related as well.
Whoa. You said sports related? Is that what you said?
Stress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think people would live much longer, healthier lives if stress was not a thing.
Yeah. I've definitely, when I was younger, I had a lot of stress at home. So my brother was kind of crazy and always getting in trouble and stuff like that. And I think that definitely bothered me for sure. Because I'd always have stomach problems when I was younger. And I think that was one of the reasons why.
See, he always kind of has stomach issues in the mornings, which is why he kind of tells us all the time that if he eats breakfast, he ends up having to go to the bathroom for like just go to the bathroom constantly. And so that's one reason he doesn't really eat breakfast in the mornings. But it's funny because on the same note, like he'll he'll be perfectly content, eating a donut in the morning, or more recently he wants his mom to take him to First Watch for breakfast. I'm like, that's fine, but like, I thought you didn't like to eat breakfast because it makes your stomach like sick. I hope he's doing all right. Well, haven't got a call from Alex yet, so probably at the doctor by now. Shoot her a message. Well, I guess he got his wish after all.
Staying home.
Yeah. Get the day off of school.
I think that's where it should be in the. I think. Excuse me.
Good push. mouth is a little big compared to the finches. But whatever. I feel like I did okay on the hair without like coloring it in.
Just shapes. Gonna get those shapes, buddy. Which looks like it's what you're doing.
Yeah, it's what I'm trying to keep it as. The thing I noticed the artists do is they write after the artist that they drew or copied. I'm kind of bummed this portrait of Wolverine is like on both pages.
Oh.
I wish they just would have put it on one or the other and put something else on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
What should I do next? You're also doing like a straight on portrait.
Well, that wasn't the goal.
Was it supposed to be at an angle?
What's that?
Huh.
I was hoping to try to do a simplification, but still have it kind of detailed, but just more of a simplification.
But were you trying to do it like head on, or were you trying to draw it at like a 3/4 view angle?
Oh, it's just this guy or this girl. It's a little. It looks like it's off because of her. She's got a whole bunch of. It's kind of hard to see on the camera.
Oh, the shadows around her face.
She's got some garments. Yeah.
Oh, okay. do a portrait of Daredevil next. Depending on how much time you want to stream for. We're at an hour and a half right now.
Holy crap, really?
Yep.
I can go another hour.
No viewers yet.
I think it's your drawings that are scaring people away.
Yeah, probably.
Just joking. You're just so crappy. I think when I drop my son off at school, I might go to that print place down here because they got really cool like pencils and stuff like that. Like pencils that are like red, green, blue, but like for mechanical lead, you know?
Oh, yeah, I want to get some of that.
I like this pencil sharpener, but I think next time I'm going to try to get a more expensive one because I feel like this Pacific Arc one, it is just a little weird. It's almost like it's like when I'm sharpening, it moves back and forth. So I really have to put it down and then push it outward. Because if I just try to sharpen it like normal, I almost feel it's not completely like balanced in there. So it's not like when I first got this, I looked at my pencil and like one side of it was flatter than the other. I was like, that's weird. And so I have to keep it on the outside and then slowly kind of push on the inside. It could be just maybe this one's defective too, but I don't know.
Yeah, you might got a weird one. I mean, mine's not like, I don't see how much play it has.
Uh-huh.
Are you putting your lead in the little hole thing?
Little cat, yeah.
Say that, and then.
And I do the big one first, and then I go to the small one because if I just go straight to the small one, it'll just break it immediately.
Oh, mine doesn't. I always just go straight to the small one.
Oh yeah. See, mine right when I put it in, if I even tried it, it would just like it won't move, and then when I try to slowly move it, it'll just break it. Like I have a piece of lead in there. I have 2 pieces of lead in there. They're like this big because I think maybe this one's just kind of poopy.
Yeah, maybe it's defective somehow.
Yeah. I would say this is what I love about drawing. Like you can just sit here and be content, you know, like doing your thing, and time just flies by. And I'm in such a, I don't know, just in a place of content.
That's good.
I know when I was younger, I always, the reason I even picked up drawing was because I was such an introvert, and when I was at school, I always just, I don't know, I just always felt different just from other kids. And then when I found drawing, I was like, oh my God, I can be in this place of just, I've always loved art and everything, but it's just like, oh my God, I can finally be somewhere and not have to worry about necessarily like people, like, I wouldn't say judging me, but I just don't have to worry. I could just be myself and get lost in time.
Yeah.
I think I want to eventually get to a point where not necessarily I can draw comics, but I can get to a point where I'm fast. I'm a lot faster. And if I want to, like, I don't know, one thing that I love, honestly, about comics and that type of artwork is not necessarily just so much of the artwork itself, but it's the it's the telling a story of a character. That's why I don't know. People always kind of make fun of comic book people because they're just, like, for instance, when I went to the comic store, dude, I saw some pretty interesting characters. Like, I was just like, oh, that dude's like 40, but he's dressing like he's 16. I mean, not even like, not that I was like judging him or anything, but I was just like, God dang, like, that's so cliche. And, but what's so interesting is, like, I remember one time I went to, when I was in Seattle with my wife, and I wanted to go to some comic book stores. And so we kind of went to some comic book places around campus at the Seattle. God, I can't remember what's that campus called. What that campus is called. But anyway, and I remember going in there, and the guys were having an argument of who would actually win in a fight between, I think it was like Batman and somebody else. I can't remember. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh my God, like, we're in. And dude, it was like a hardcore argument. And what I mean by that is not just like the normal dude where he's just like, well, dude, Batman's strong, man. Like, they were going into different lines of comic stories where they were just like, oh, but wait a second. In that one, so-and-so, like, dude, I'm a nerd, but that was like, and dude, they were getting serious and like angry. But what was so cool about that to me was the fact that there were so many stories told of Batman and how you could see that character, and it's so beloved, like, it's, you in all these comic book stories, they're putting Batman in different scenarios that you wouldn't normally see in different characters, like in books and stuff like that, because usually, like in a book or a movie, they go through an epoch, they go up and they solve their problem or whatever, and then they go beyond. And then the movie's over, like they solved or came to a conclusion on one problem from the story or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's a valley and then, a peak and then, the end, conclusion. But in comics, it's like those characters, you can put them in so many different scenarios and it just keeps going. But it's almost like you're really psychologically working around that character. So like Spider-Man, all the different things with Mary Jane, all the, his girlfriend's on the side, the relationship the ups and downs with Mary Jane, and then it's the identity of just Spider-Man himself, you know, like going to school and like, who is he? You know, you kind of see that through like, you know, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, you know, where he's like, he's got a problem each movie, but it's like in comics, you know, like you can go into I don't even know how many stories there are of Spider-Man comic lines there are, but it's just really cool that it's like that character's living, you know, and
Right.
it's so cool that that as adults, the scenarios that these characters are put in, we can all relate to them, you know, because I think that's what makes superheroes so cool, is not the fact that they got all these powers, but it's just like the powers they have or whatever they are, and then what brought them there, and then how they have to live with that, you know, and they're different from everybody else. And I would say that each individual in the world has their own superpower to a degree of like whatever their talent is or what they're interested in. You know, most of the time somebody's better at something than somebody else. And it's just fitting in with that, you know, of who you are and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's just, I think that's what's really cool. And a lot of people, like I said, I guess getting back to my point, a lot of people give crap for older people of, you know, into comic books and stuff like that. And yeah, maybe there is, I don't know, some people out there that really do need to like get out of their mom's basements and stuff like that, or whatever. But what's really neat is just how people fall in love with these characters, you know? And what's really crazy is there's new superheroes that come out. People create new people and abilities and all, you know, whatever, but none of them stick like Marvel or DC or you know, some of the other ones. I'm not really broad on the whole line of different characters there are that have stuck around the test of time, but like I mean, do you think there could be another line of characters that come out that are just as good as Spider-Man or Batman or something? I don't know. And it could be nostalgia too. It could be the people that grew up with it are just sticking with it for so long. But
yeah, I don't know. It seems to me like the characters that are already out are just always their stories are always being retold and stuff for new generations. It's this one's not turning out good.
you can do it. You know what you need, Coach, to cheer you up on that?
What?
You just need to look at this dude's face.
The football thing?
Yeah. Oh, you can't really see it. It's so dark.
Yeah, I saw it. It probably didn't make me laugh that much because it was football related, and I didn't understand the context of what was going on because I don't pay attention to football at all.
Oh.
I mean, I knew obviously. I mean, it looked like a guy was making a touchdown and just made this huge leap for the end zone.
Yeah, yeah. The Saints player got that was the quarterback, and he threw an interception. And
oh, that's what happened because I saw the guy walking in front that looked just super pissed off.
Yeah, that was the quarterback.
But yeah, part of me was like, you know, I saw the guy's face in the background, but I didn't understand the context. So it was like, okay.
It's just
because he looked surprised before the guy even jumped for the field goal. But I guess that's because the interception was thrown.
Yeah. The interception was thrown, it ran back for a touchdown. And it just, And he did this crazy leap, but like just that guy is just like, oh man. And then just this guy in super happy celebration flying by him, It's just like, oh, that's like two dynamics there. It's just like the worst of the worst and the happiest of the happy.
I didn't even see the guy celebrating. I just saw the. Let's see.
But what made me laugh the most was that guy, the guard in the background, where he's just cheesing and he's just like, oh, like you could just imagine he's like, oh, like he's just, he just ended up, he's just watching this game, make sure nobody jumps down or something, and then he's just right there. Oh my God, it's amazing! It's just so funny to me. He looks like Neil to me. That's what really makes me laugh. For all you streamers out there, Neil's a buddy of mine I went to college with.
Yeah, nobody's watching.
Someday, coach. Someday. We'll have some streamers. See, this is where I want to get to the point. Anyway, back to what I was saying about comics.
Oh, this is terrible. Okay, I need a.
Coach, don't you dare. Don't you dare give up. This is the whole reason why we're doing this.
God damn it. I just want to work on my Spider-Man.
Pull that back out and grind it out, buddy. That's why we're here. Figure it out. Solve the problem.
Sound like
Work
me
through your pain.
sound like me when I talk to Fallon.
Dude, it was so
Oh,
funny
you
when you
just work
texted
for
me.
me.
When you texted me that you're just like, oh, I'm laid in bed. I'm so exhausted from doing his homework, And that was like, God, I remember that story of just you like being on the whiteboard. Okay, so what's 3? And then like you were telling me the story about it. It was like, oh man, I've never been in that situation, but there's been some times where I'm telling my son something and I'm trying to describe it to him. I'm just like, dude, like just hold on, just stop talking and listen. It's
Right. Yeah, well, it's like I don't understand what they're trying to do because, like,
do you have the new math thing where it's like these dots?
they do some of that, but like they were working on subtraction, but this time they were actually doing it like the way that we used to do it, like where you got your numbers, the bigger number on top, then you're subtracting the smaller number. You put, like 10 minus 8, and you write 8 under the 10, and da 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 da. But it's like they're trying to teach them all the ways to do subtraction now. Like they're still doing what's that new way that they Common Core?
Yes.
It's like they've already done that. And now they're like teaching them Common Core or the traditional way. I'm like, well, which is it? Like, you guys just stick with one way to teach them how to do this stuff. So it's like, it ends up just confusing them, I think. And like,
dude, my wife's a teacher, pre-K.
Yeah.
So my son, he's in 2nd grade, and we're doing some math stuff like at the kitchen table, and he was like, "Hey, Dad, look at this." And I was like, because Karen was like, "Hey, show Dad, your math," because I guess my son in math is like when we went to his thing, his English is kind of where he needs to be, but his math is like way above, dude. Like he's already, like she told me, surpass the time that when they do tests, like he gets it done in a crazy amount of time. And my son, if you ever met him, he's very like black and white. So math is super easy to him because you don't have to think outside the box. Like the answer is right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so anyway, he was showing me this math problem, and he did it really well. But he said, "Dad, watch. Here, I'm going to do this one here." And he did like these circles, and he put the dots, and then he like carried the dots over and did some weird stuff, dude. And I was like, I don't understand what you just did. He was like, so he showed me again. I was like, "Hey, check this out, buddy." And so I did like a normal subtraction for him. I was like,
Yeah.
"Just carry on this over here, put this over here, boom." And he was like, "What?" But I mean, I'll just do the dot thing. And I remember thinking in my head, I was like, "Oh my God, this is so much harder than it needs to be."
Yeah. Shit.
Don't you dare. I wish this could go through the camera, go through this internet. I can't even get it right here. Just go. Don't stop.
But yeah, so like, he would have, they were doing like subtracting numbers that are like in the hundreds. Like one would be like 568 minus 369 or something. And so I'm like trying to show them how to, if you have like some shit where it's like, you got the 8. I'm not even in the camera. So it's like you can't take 9 from 8, right? So I'm like trying to show them that, like, I don't know how many times we did it. I was like, so you got to borrow 1 from the 6, and the 6, since you take 1 from the 6, that turns the 6 into a 5, and you borrow the 1 from the 6, and that turns the 8 into 18. It's like, oh, but then for this one, since this is a 5 now, you have to borrow 1 from the 5, and now that's 15. And like we went over it like through 6 or 7 different problems. And like we get to the next problem, and it would be something just the same. And he'd be like, "I don't know what to do." I'm like, "We just did it like 7 times." I'm just too impatient. I don't know, but like, but then he was trying to work on the problem. He was trying to work from left to right in the subtraction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, Grayson, you got to work from the right to left. Like, you got to start with the numbers on the right and then go to your left. But then every time he would try to start like in the middle or on the left side first. And I'm like, no. So it was just that exhausted me worse than like my worst workout. Like, I was so tired after that. So yeah, I was sorry. I was not in the mood to hop up because I was already in bed and I was just laying there, and then I saw your message come through. It's like, no. It's like, sorry, Ryan, I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, what really sucks about my camera thing is I can't test it because the only way you can test it with this camera is if the camera understands there's a source there.
Yeah.
So if there's no source, I can't even see what it's going to look like. So it's just like, oh my God. I thought about even just starting a small Zoom account just so I could get on there and open up a meeting or something, but not invite anybody so I could see it. But I can't even do that. Like, it's just like, ugh. Super annoying. So yeah, that's what I wanted. I want to get to the point where show that Daredevil picture again, real quick. Sorry.
This guy.
Yeah. So kind of like what you're doing, it's like that style is just like breaking down the shapes, and I mean the shading is never real like that, like what I'm doing. It's never real like that, but it's just accentuates and just pops it out,
Yeah. Well, even Finch, he starts with he'll go through with this thicker. Like, well, first he'll like he do his pencils, then he'll go through with the smaller like micron, like a 0.1, and like he kind of basically outlines. He puts some lightweight in there, but he'll basically outline his pencils. Then he'll go through and darken in the bigger black shapes, and it's all just drawing negatives. Drawing in negative.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, he'll start going in and adding like these fine little cross hatching details and rendering basically. Rendering out all the shadows from the blacks. But he's so good with lighting. Like, he knows his lighting so well that he just kind of automatically just does it as he's inking. He doesn't really even lay out his shading for his pencils from pencils beforehand. He just inks it all in as he goes.
I hope I get to the point where I'm doing all that kind of stuff where I'm just like kind of just laying stuff in, and then it's all laid out. It looks like a big jumbled piece of crap, and then it's just like, and then it's just like boom, like you just kind of see everything. Like I said, like I'm still doing like, kind of notice me. I'm still doing a piece and a piece here, and then I'll.
Oh yeah,
I'm kind of like trying to like almost finalize it.
You're like rendering as you go.
Yeah, which is, it's so easy for me to do it that way, or not easy, but it's like I've trained myself to do it that way. And now that I'm like trying to take a step back and then do all the layout stuff, which I understand, it's so awesome, and that's what I'm trying to do. I totally understand the benefit of it, but it's like I'm just fighting that so much. But I think what I'm gonna have to do is just dig down deep, not do anything like this, and just literally do shapes, like just draw shapes. And I think our next stream, or even tonight, I'll finish this kind of go, and play around with this for a little bit, but then I'll just go back to doing shapes again, and then just slowly building in a nose shape wise, and then doing the doing the eyes, and then doing the mouth and different, and then practice just working on just those small things, kind of like what you're doing, looking at other artists and just kind of seeing like, okay, so I only need to show this much of a lip, and you know, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I know I watched a video this morning too about some guy who does inking, and he does all his inking on, or not inking, painting on Photoshop. And what was crazy about it was he was talking about how much he has to do, like how many pages. Like he'll have to do a page a day, or sometimes he'll have to do 10 pages, I think, depending on what they are, like in a day. So he just goes through and just, you know, it's just God. He talks about how the comic book business is so deadline driven that even if you're a really good artist, it can just kill you, because it's just, you know, people get.
Yeah, you got to be, you know, that's what I, you know, we were talking about that last time. Like, you know, some people see my stuff and they're like, oh, why don't you get a job in that then? Like, I'm like, look, I can sit here all day and like, give me enough time, I can draw anything really well, but like, to have it done really well within a deadline is a whole another story. And like, I'm not there yet when it comes to speed. Like, you know, I think I'm getting a little faster now, but like, you know, like these D&D drawings that I'm doing, you know, I'll spend weeks on them. I'm not like, you know, literally drawing on them for a whole week. It's like I'll do like an hour here, an hour there, or, you know, a few hours here. But yeah, if you know, I feel like you should have, you know, like Finch kind of talks about it all the time too, is that there's a lot of comic artists that, yeah, they'll get hired and they'll meet deadlines and stuff, but like you can definitely tell that the quality isn't there. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd eventually like to have a job doing something in art. But who knows? I may have started taking it a little too seriously, a little too late. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think so. I mean, there's artists out there that are like 70 and they're like teaching drawing, you know, 60. So I imagine if you just kind of work hard, you know, and
Yeah.
anything can happen. Even if you're just like teaching at I don't know, some community college or even college at Kansas City, just, you know, I don't know, just as like a what do they call those people? Adjunct teacher or something like that. Or even just like, even if you did stuff and you had your own like exhibit or something, or just even if you did something to the point where it catches the eye of some people, and you can just go and kind of maybe teach some classes on comic book art, or just character art in general.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Or we just keep streaming and we make millions off of YouTube. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. Pretty cool.
So it looks like they're going to take Fallon to get an EKG and some blood work done.
What's a EKG?
Electrocardiogram. Basically just going to take a look at his heart, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I think. I think if we actually did get popular from YouTube, we'd have to get like a lot faster.
We'd have to be organized too. We're just kind of like, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. Kind of like think about stuff at the last second. You know, I feel like we'd have to have like a dedicated like Facebook page or social media page and like put a schedule on there or something.
Yeah.
So people know when we're streaming.
Yeah, I'm definitely rusty. I can definitely tell that I'm struggling with like I wouldn't say I was a very fast drawer, but I'm struggling with my confidence of knowing where I was, going to put a line, or I'm second guessing myself like a lot. Normally I don't do that. I kind of don't really second guess myself more than what I'm doing now. That second guessing's kind of not giving me the confidence that I probably should have. Actually, just lay some stuff down. Just need to go for it. Connect 4.
Look like she's gonna jump out and get you.
What's that?
It looks like she's gonna jump out and get you. Sneaky. Isn't that a famous actress? Who is that? She looks familiar.
No, this is just. Well, I don't know. Wesley Roca. Oh, that's probably the photographer. I think this is just some random chick.
Okay. Fine then. Keep your secrets.
I know I should probably next time if I draw like a face like this, I need to pick something with a little bit more dynamic shadowing.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those portraits that I did before were hard to draw because they weren't like, they were like selfies.
Mm-hmm.
Selfies are going to have like about the worst lighting you could ever have. That made it just extremely tough to draw and to try to get any good values out of it. Go to the restroom.
Well, I am going to go ahead and feed my son.
Okay.
And I guess I'll finish this tonight.
Okay.
Get a little bananas with it. Finish her up. What I need to do is work on people that don't have cloth like that. I need to work on people that you can actually see like the body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Naked people. But this one was fun. Yeah, I'm gonna try to work on speed. You know what we should do is that thing I was kind of telling you about, like the where it was kind of
Do you like the gestures?
yeah, where you're just like going like really fast and not worrying about being perfect, but just trying to get like layout. That's a lot of fun.
Getting the basic like feel of the shape.
Mm-hmm. I hated those when I first did them, but our teacher, we would do 5 minute, or no, we would do like 2 minute sketches, and then 1 minute sketches, and then 30-second. And I always thought this was silly, but she'd always be like, okay, we're doing 15-second sketches. I was just like, oh my God. So you're just like,
yeah.
But I guess I can understand the reason why she wanted to do that was because of just trying to make your lines quick, you know, but still trying to capture like the movement, you know.
Right.
But yeah. All right, Mr. Coach, I will see you tonight, right?
Yeah. You know what time you want to try it?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever's. I mean, preferably later in the night, like 8 o'clock.
Okay, that should be fine.
That should be okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Just text me if you can't, or if you have to do another time, and I'll try to make it work.
All right, sounds good.
All right. I'll see you.
All right, later.